Hello and welcome, my name is Olive. So this class is going to be a Mandala style yoga flow. So what does that mean? Mandala takes its sort of influence from Ashtanga yoga, and it means that we move in different directions, so not just one linear fashion. So we end up facing forwards, we end up facing the left, the right side, we end up facing the back of our mat, and just trying to use this kind of like 360-degree movement. So expect to get confused, that's absolutely fine, but it's really going to test your active listening as well. It's also a challenge for me as a teacher to remember where my limbs are. But yeah, it's a fun way to move. In terms of equipment, grab yourself a block if you would like, and your mat, and that's all we need. So yeah, I will see you sitting down and we'll get started there. So in our seated position, we're just going to spend a little bit of time trying to stimulate our sensory cortex and our motor cortex to try to make the most out of our movement. So you're just going to clap your hands together and just start to rub them against one another. And we're just essentially going to give ourselves like a body rub. So imagine you are in the shower and you're soaping yourself down. You're just going to start to rub down your arms. Pay attention to any areas that have previous breaks, or there is scar tissue, or you have tattoos over, because the brain mapping will be a little bit weaker. So come down to the legs. You can change up what you're doing, so you can make like two fists and kind of pat down. Go to the back, the shoulders, the neck, up to your face, your cheeks. So yeah, like I said, we're just trying to stimulate our senses so that when we start to move, we're a little bit more aware of where our body is, and we can make the most out of our practice. So come down to the legs, spend a little bit of time to the soles of the feet as well. Come to standing if you want to. And there we go. Okay, let's come to our movement practice now. So transfer back to a seat, make two fists out in front of you, and you're just going to flick your fingers. Just trying to wake up into the forearms, into the wrists a little bit. Take them above your head, stretch up and flick, and then roll them about. Okay, lovely. So when you're ready, into your tabletop position, take a moment to grip your fingertips into the floor. Try press the heel of the hand down. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time creating these circular movements, going one way to start with, and then change direction. And then find yourself moving into some cat-cow style movement. So flexing the spine and extending the spine. Only going as deep as you would like. If you wanted to maybe experience this movement in a slightly different way, lift the knees off the ground and feel it firing a little bit more into the core. Cool. And then after having this little bit of a wriggle around, we're going to come down to lie on our belly very quickly. So keep the toes tucked. Let your hips press to the floor. Your forehead's going to come down to the ground. So switching on this kind of active listening, you're going to take your arms out to create a W shape. So your elbows are going to go driving down towards your rib cage. Your hands are kind of level with your shoulders, but imagine you're creating a W. So your hands, your elbows are lifting off the floor, squeezing into your sides as much as you can, switching on the muscles off the upper back, and then you're going to extend the arms over your head to create a Y shape. So the arms go slightly wider, palms face inwards. And again, squeeze into W, extend overhead to Y. I'm just going to keep that going. Just a couple of reps, just to again, feel everything in the upper back switch on, particularly the muscles that support the shoulder joint. Let's go one more each way. And then release, taking your forearms out in front of you, your shoulders over your elbows, squeezing together, finding yourself lifting up into Sphinx, trying to push your hips to the floor, using the legs, keeping them active. Just take one more breath like this. And then release as you fall to the ground, moving the hands behind, pressing up to tabletop, and then into your downward dog when you're ready. So take a moment, pedal out the feet, shaking through the legs, the head, whatever feels good. Okay, and then we're going to come towards the back of our mat, so start to push the hands backwards to the feet,
When you arrive at the back, keep the knees bent, let the head hang, gently start to cradle your arms if you would like, and you can go side to side. Beautiful. Okay. Hands to your shins, start to walk yourself all the way up to standing. Take a moment, shake your body out. Just going to do a simple drill to fire up into our posterior chain, so from the glutes down to the heels. It's called a death march. So from the back of your mat, you're going to step that right foot forwards. Just keep the heel on the ground so the toes are lifted. You're now going to bend your knees, hinge your hips so you're pressing them behind you, then sweep your hands down the body, then come to standing. Step the right foot down, left heel in front, bend the knees, hinge the hips, and sweep. We're just going to do that all the way to the top of your mat, nice and slow. Like I said again, trying to feel calf, hamstring, glutes switch on. Cool. And when you get to the top of your mat, we're going to swap and do it again, but this time keeping the feet grounded. So step the right foot forwards, but toes stay on the ground. So making it a little bit more glute dominant. And again, we'll travel to the back of our mat as we do this. Nice and slow, already becoming aware of changing direction, kind of tapping into this more mandala style flow. Cool. And when you get to the top, pivot yourself round, have a little shake as you walk to the top of your mat. We're going to do some sun salutations, but again inspired by Mandala yoga, just to get used to this idea of changing where we are facing in our practice. So, hands are going to go down by your side. Taking an inhale, reaching your hands up. And on your exhale, folding yourself forwards, bending your knees if you need. Inhale, hands to your shins, looking forwards. And then exhale, we're going to plant those hands, step back into our plank position. Let the knees come down, elbows stay tight, exhale, lowering to the floor. Inhale, push the floor away, lift the chest as high as you would like to go, before sending it back into downward facing dog. Okay, next inhale, float the right leg straight behind you, looking between the hands, shoulders over the wrists, planting the right foot down to the floor, drop the back knee, inhale, coming up to low lunge. Okay, so we're going to change position and come to low lunge on the left leg. So first of all, lifting the left knee off the ground, start to pivot all 10 toes to face the long edge of your mat, then rotate towards the back, right knee comes down to the floor. So low lunge on the second side, take a moment to stabilize. Cool, and then again we pivot all the way around to the front, so lift the right knee, turning and rotating all 10 of your toes, testing the balance, let the back knee come down. And then when you're ready, hands frame the right leg, step the left foot in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push through, reach the hands up. And then releasing to equal standing. Okay, let's do it one more time on the other side. Inhale, circle your hands up. Exhale, forwarding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting those hands, stepping into your plank position. Shoulders are over the wrists. Lowering down with or without the knees, but move slowly with control. Inhale, find the lift. And exhale, back downward dog. Okay, inhale, left leg floats behind you. Look between the hands, shoulders over the wrists, step the left foot forwards, right knee to the floor, hands move up, low lunge. Cool, so again we're going to transition to the other side. Take your time if this is perhaps a weaker side, so lift the back knee first, slowly rotate all the way around, left knee drops to the floor. Beautiful. So again, switching on those glutes to help stabilize. Lifting up left knee, rotating again all the way back to the front. Let the back knee come down. Beautiful. Then when you're ready, framing the front leg. Step the back foot in, halfway lift. Exhale, folding. Inhale, push through the feet. Join the hands all the way up. And then releasing to equal standing. Okay, lovely. We're going to come down into our downward dog and start our first sequence. So again, inhale, reaching the hands up. Exhale, folding. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, stepping back to your plank. Shoulders over the wrist, let yourself lower down. Inhale to find your lift. And then send it back to your downward dog when you're ready. Okay, inhale once again, let's float the right leg straight behind us. Look between the hands, shoulders over the wrist, planting the right foot between. Drop the back knee. Inhale. We come back up to our low lunge. Okay, so from here, right hand is going to go on top of the knee. We're going to take the left hand behind our head. Inhale, we're going to rotate with our chest towards the left side to keep the hips still. And exhale, travel forwards. Inhale, rotate. And exhale, travel forwards. Okay, this time as we rotate, we're going to stay here. Option to stay like this. Or maybe you open the left hand behind you, or maybe you lean back and slowly take left hand down to the left heel as the right hand reaches up and over. Again, totally your choice with what you would rather. Regardless, we're going to take one more breath here. Try to ensure the right knee stays facing forwards. And then inhale, rotate the chest forwards, reaching the hands up before planting them to the inside of the front leg. Lift your back knee off the floor. Okay, we're going to come into side lunge. So you're going to start to walk the hands around to face the long edge of your mat. As you turn all 10 toes to face that way as well. Right toes may turn away from you as you start to bring the majority of your weight down into the right side. Couple of options here. Obviously the heel might be off the ground, that's fine. Maybe you reach away and drop the chin to your chest. Maybe you keep the right arm down, lift the left hand up. Maybe you just want to try find some balance. See what feels good. We'll take one more breath here. And then transitioning to the other side. So let the hands come back down to the ground. Start to walk over, so we're bending to the left leg. Side lunge on the other side, decide what you would like to do here. What this side is speaking to you in terms of the sensations in the body. Okay, let's go for one more breath. And then take the left hands back down to the floor. We're going to turn all the way to face the back of our mat now. So as the hands walk round to face the back, turn all 10 toes to face that way. Let the right knee come down to the floor. Slowly walk your hands behind you, straightening up the left leg, coming into half splits. Take your block if you would like for a little bit of extra support, and you can point and flex into those toes, or you can fold deeper, the leg can be bent, again whatever suits you most. We're going to have a little play around with the balance in a sec. Okay, so when you're ready, find stillness into the left leg, drive down into the heel, push the hands away from the ground, see if we can come all the way up to standing. Now for some, this might be enough with the leg relatively straight. For others, we can see if we can try lift this left leg off the ground about 1 or 2 times. So your hands can be either side. You might need to bend, drag the heel in, and then have a little bit of a lift, and then it comes back down. Or you might be able to lift with a straight leg and find a balance. Either way, let's try one more time. It's quite enough for the right leg, so see how you feel. Use your arms for balance. Slowly come back down to the ground. You're going to bend into the left leg, take the hands back down to the floor, lift the right knee. So we're going to kind of transition quickly through the side lunge to start to walk the hands all the way along the long edge of the mat, rotating back to the front. As the hands are on the inside of the right foot, you're going to step the left foot in, and we're going to lower down into Yogi squat. So your toes can be turned out ever so slightly. You can take your hands to your heart. They can be down to the ground. You can start to move side to side if it feels good. Or if you want a little bit of an extra mobility challenge, can you extend your arms over your head as you're in this really nice deep squat? If anyone does Olympic lifting, this is your end position for the snatch. Okay, one more breath here. And then when you're ready, let's plant those hands, Step ourselves back into our plank position, move through this whole vinyasa, or come straight to down dog, whatever is best for you. Okay, let's have a little bit of a breather, drink some water if you need, wriggle around, and then we're going to experiment with the other side. So there may be some positions where my back is turned to you, but yeah. Okay, inhale, float the left leg straight behind, planting the foot between the hands, let the right knee come down, bring yourself up, low lunge. Okay, left hand comes down to that knee. Remember that knee is going to stay facing forwards. We're going to take the right hand behind our head. Inhale, rotate to the right. Exhale, come back forwards. Inhale again, rotate, use the glutes to stabilize. Exhale, forwards. Again, rotate. This time we stay here. So you can keep the hand behind your head, or you can open it behind you, or you can lean back and make contact with the ankle, with the left hand reaching up and over. Again, whatever feels best. We'll take one more breath here. And then inhale, rotate forwards again. Releasing hands up. Before planting them to the inside of the front leg, lift your right knee. So side lunge to start. As you start to walk the hands around towards the right side of your mat, dropping the heels, slowly bringing yourself in this position. Again, you can do whatever you like. Hands can move away from the ground. They can reach out in front. They can reach above your head. You can even point and flex into the toes of the straight leg. Let's go one more breath here. Feels so rude with my back to the camera. And then you're going to slowly walk the hands across all the way to the other side. So bending into the right leg. Again, seeing what you want to do on this side. Maybe you have a little bit more of a challenge. You see if you can really lift your body away from the floor, tapping into that active strength of the lower body. Cool. And then when you're ready, looking round to the right leg, take the hands either side of the right foot as you rotate and turn all the way to face the back. Let the your left knee come down to the floor. Start to press your hips behind you, walking the hands backwards, coming into our half splits. So again, you can point flex into the toes, you can bend the knee, you can fold more forwards, whatever feels good. Rotate the ankle if it feels good. And then when you are ready, drive down into that heel by bending the leg, bringing yourself all the way upright to this kind of like half kneeling position. And then either staying here, or you can start to drag the heel in, see if you can lift the right leg off the floor using your hands, or we keep it straight and we find a lift. Let's just go one more time. Try not to lean back too much using the core. And then planting the foot back down to the ground, bring the weight forwards by bending into the leg, plant the hands to the inside of the right foot, lifting the knee off the ground. And then again, we're going to rotate all the way back round to the front. Left foot is forwards, hands are to the inside. And we're going to step that right leg in once again, coming down into our yogi squat. Let's have a little bit more movement this time. Maybe shifting the weight side to side. Just again, moving the ankles. Or you do what you like. Okay, one more breath. And then hands come down, stepping back into your plank, moving through your vinyasa, or coming straight to downward facing dog. I don't tend to cue that movement too much because I don't want to rush you. I want you to take your own time to go through that movement, to listen to your body, to not do it if you don't feel like you don't want to. Okay, we all just meet in down dog whenever. Right, so next inhale, let's look between the hands. We're going to come up into some standing poses now. Stepping or jumping to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale to fold ourselves down. Inhale, push through the feet, drawing the hands up and above the head. Then centering them back down to your heart center. Shifting the weight into the right leg, you're going to lift your left knee up so the knee is parallel with the hip. Now imagine you've got a piece of string wrapped around your left ankle, and with the right hand, all we're going to try to do is lift the left foot up and bring it inwards. And then we release and bring it back down. And again, one more time, we're going to lift it up, use the muscles on the inner thigh, and then slowly release. And again, as we're going to lift up, we're going to hold it here, bend the right leg, matching the left ankle on top. Hands can stay to your heart as we come down into a standing figure four. Hands can travel out by your side, or they can be in another position. You can be more straight in your legs. You can be lower to the floor. You can fold. It's completely up to you. Wherever you feel that lovely balance of ease and challenge. I'm going to go one more breath here. And then slowly straighten up the right leg, bring the left knee back, so it's in line with the hip, before slowly stepping the left toes behind you, just the toes. Straighten up the right leg. So really fiery into the lower body. We're going to take hold of opposite elbows behind our back, little bend in your right knee if you need, but you're going to inhale here, and then exhale to start to lift your rib cage, lift your head gently looking upwards to the ceiling. Keep squeezing the muscles of the upper back together, pressing into the big toes. One more breath here. And slowly bring the chin back to your chest. Release the hands. You're going to turn all 10 toes to face the long edge of your mat. Inhale, hands open out. And then exhale, press the hips behind you. Begin to take your hands down to the floor. Bend your knees if you need. But we're going to inhale here. And then exhale, folding forwards. Shake out the head if you need, bending the legs. Maybe change how far apart your legs are. But try to find that distribution between your toes and your heels. Cool. Let's go one more breath. And then push through the hands, start to straighten them out as you look forwards. Hands come back to your hips, push through the feet all the way up to standing. When you get to standing, inhale. Exhale out of the mouth. Okay, lovely. Now when you're ready, you're going to turn your left toes to face the back of your mat. Bend into that knee, opening out those hands, coming into our warrior two. So for this, we're just going to start to work into the shoulders. You're going to take an inhale, spin the palms up to the ceiling, lift the chest, gently looking up. Then on your exhale, chin comes back to your chest, and you spin the hands inwards so your shoulders come to internal rotation. And again, inhale, you're going to squeeze and lift. And then exhale, slowly rounding down. Take your time, reset back into warrior two. Before taking your left elbow down to the left knee, right hand sweeps down the body and opens up above our head. Extended side angle. Now you can stay here if you like, or you can lift the elbow away from the knee and reach the hand away just to tap into the deeper core, the obliques a little bit more. Take one more breath like this. Return that elbow if it's not there already, so a little bit of a weird transition. You're going to see if you can hop your right leg in just a little bit before slowly reaching the left hand down towards the ground, lifting the right leg up, coming into our half moon position. Please feel free to take a block underneath your left hand if you would rather. Imagine you're pressing your back foot into a wall. You're going to go one more breath here. And then slowly start to bend into the left leg. Let the right foot come down to the ground all the way upright. Turn the left toes to face the long edge of your mat. Right foot goes forwards again. We inhale, open out the hands. Exhale, reach forwards with the right hand. Take it down to the inside of the right leg. And if you fancy, you can wrap the left hand around your back. So there's a lot of lefts and rights there. Again, challenging that kind of active listening and awareness of the body. Okay, we're going to go one more breath here. And then when you're ready, we're going to step into chair pose. So bend into the right leg, set the left foot next to it, hands come up, knees are bent, engaging the glutes, And exhale, fold yourself forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands down, step back to your plank. Again, move through this portion at your own time. Try not to rush it, just because you know what poses are coming up. And again, have a little bit of a breather here. Shake the head, jiggle the body, whatever feels good. Okay, let's try the other side. So next, inhale, look between the hands. Again, step or jump to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, push through the feet, reaching the hands all the way up before taking them down to your heart. So this time, let's bring the weight onto the left leg. Lift the right knee so the knee is parallel to the hips. Imagine you've got that string around the ankle. We're going to lift the ankle towards the left side and then release it slowly. And then again, we find that lift and slowly release. Okay, last time, finding the lift, trying to match that foot on top of the left knee. Hands can go wherever they feel most balanced, most supportive for this position. And you can bend more, you can be more upright, figuring out, again, position off the hips. Nice. Okay, let's go one more breath here. And slowly, as you start to straighten up the left leg, bring the right knee back to your chest before slowly tilting your torso forwards. Extend the right leg behind, let the toes land as you straighten up the left leg. So shoulders over the hips. Let's take hold of opposite elbows. Inhaling, and then exhale, slowly looking up. Take your time, find your balance, press the big toes into the floor. Then when you're ready, chin comes back to your chest. Releasing your hands, we're going to drop and turn all 10 toes to face the right side of our mat this time. Again, my back is turned to you, I'm sorry. Inhale, again, we're going to open out the hands. Exhale, press the hips behind, folding forwards. This time, you're going to take hold of your ankles. Take an inhale here. And exhale, folding down forwards. Again, bend your knees if you need. Change how close or further away the legs are. But slightly different feedback for the shoulders as we hold the ankles. Okay, one more breath here. And then when you're ready, hands come to your hips, push through the feet. Take your time to come all the way up to standing. When you get there, inhale. Exhale out of the mouth. Now when you're ready, turning those right toes forwards, bend into the leg, hands open into warrior two. So we'll reverse the movement this time. We'll spin the hands down, chin to the chest, round the spine. Then inhale, spin the palms up, lift the chest looking to the sky. One more time, exhale, spin the hands down. Inhale, spin the hands up. Return warrior two. Before taking right elbow on top of the knee, left hand sweeps down the body and opens on top. Either staying here or lifting the elbow off the knee and extending the arm out to the side if you want to tap into the core a little bit more. Okay, let's go one more breath. Return the elbow back to the knee if it's not there already. Bring more weight into the right leg so you can hop the left foot in a little bit more. Taking your block just in front of you or right hand to the ground. Lean into the right leg, lifting the back foot off the floor. Imagine again you're pressing that foot into a wall, so it's super active. Don't worry if the bottom leg is bent. We'll go one more breath here. And slowly, slowly bring the weight back down into the left foot. Turn all 10 toes to face the long edge of your mat. Then left toes forwards again, opening out the hands. Reach forwards with your left hand. Take it down to the inside. Gazing up to the right hand or wrapping it around your back. Trying to breathe into the right rib cage. And locking and engaging into the front leg. We'll take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, bending into the left foot, step the right leg in, back into chair pose. As high or as hinged as you want to go. And when you're ready, folding yourself forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, back to your plank. Moving through. And arriving in down dog when you're ready. Okay, beautiful. So we're going to start building it down into some floor work now. So your next inhale, you're going to bring your shoulders over your wrists, coming forwards into high plank. Try not to dome too much in the upper back or stick the bum up or let it collapse. We're nice and even. Now we're going to drop both heels to the right side. Maybe you stack your feet and slowly peel open to side plank. Breathing here, feel free to drop that bottom knee. We take one more breath. And then we're going to slowly start to lift the left foot off the right leg. Take it behind us so it's off our mat towards or behind our back. And we're slowly going to drop our bum down. Now we're facing all the way behind us. And we're prepping ourselves for a little twist. So, right leg will be straight, left leg will be bent. Take your right hand to hold the bent leg. Take your left hand behind you and slowly find yourself coming into the twist. Only twisting as much as your breath will allow, so using your breath as a guide, supporting yourself with a back hand. Try not to collapse to the shoulder. Let's go one more breath here. And then slowly rotating ourselves forwards. From here we're going to see if we can reverse and come into pigeon. So you're going to take your right hand behind you. You start by lifting your hips, slowly dropping the right toes down to the ground, swiveling yourself back to plank, and then drawing in the left knee between the hands, slowly letting it lower down. Slowly walking the right leg away if you feel good, and then taking your time to come down to sleeping pigeon. Using your block, taking it under your left glute if you would like. Now as we're in this sort of sleeping position, do me a favor and try to find some engagement by pressing your front knee to the ground and your back leg, just so we support the hips. We're not just using ligaments and tendons to hold us in place, we're recruiting the muscles to stabilize those joints. Okay, we're going to take one more breath here. And then start to slowly walk the hands in, frame the front leg, lifting the chest, just for a little bit of an extra challenge, because why not? Can you, with this engagement in the lower body, start to lift the hands off the ground and find an unassisted hold? If not, don't worry, you can keep pinkies on the ground. Hands come back down, you're going to drop your hips off towards the left side. Saw the right leg round to the front, and we're going to connect the soles of our feet together. So draw them in as much as you are comfortable with, switching on the glutes, drive the heels against one another, and then slowly see if you can encourage knees to move closer to the floor. We're not going to fold forwards in this one. We're just going to stay more upright and focus on the position of the lower body. Every now and then, if you want to do these light sort of like pulsing kind of movements, that might be beneficial. If you feel really stuck, you just kind of come up a little bit more and then release. Okay, one more breath here. Then back to stillness, take the hands to the knees. You're going to draw them together, then lift the feet off the ground, coming into boat pose. Take the hands behind the thighs if you would rather. Scooch forwards a little bit. Okay, we're going to take one more breath here. Then we're going to come into low boat before eventually lying on our back. So hands go either side. Start to extend the legs away and the head slowly all the way down to the floor. When you reach the ground, reach the arms above, roll through your wrists, roll through your ankles. Then plant the feet to the ground. Check you can feel your heels with your fingertips. Option if you want to come to little bridge or full bridge. Full bridge is with the hands by the ears, elbows pointing up. Regardless of where we are, push through the toes, the heels, Start to lift the hips and the glutes away from the ground. Take your hands into whatever supported position feels good. And think about not only using the core and the glutes to maintain this nice stable position, but also the muscles of the inner thigh, the outer thigh, as well as the hamstrings. So maybe you can practice lifting the heels off the ground and lifting the toes to start to switch on and feel different engagement in those muscles I just spoke about. Okay, one more breath. And slowly let yourself curl all the way back down. Hug your knees to your chest, rocking side to side. And then when you're ready, rocking up and down 2 or 3 times before going through your final vinyasa. So plant your hands, step yourself back, moving through the poses. When you're ready, again, once there, give yourself a little bit of a shake. Okay, let's try final sequence. Inhale, shoulders over your wrist, high plank. Drop the heels to the left, stacking them if you would like, before peeling the right hand up. So nice and even lift through the lower body, through the shoulders. We're going to lift up the right leg, plant the toes and the foot behind the body. Let your bum come down as you turn to face the back of your mat. So right leg is bent, take left hand over that knee, right hand behind, and slowly into the twist. Again, making use of the breath as you do, letting it be your guide. Keep both butt cheeks on the ground. One more breath here. And slowly release, and we're going to come back into our plank position and into pigeon. So left hand goes behind, start by lifting the hips, dropping the left toes back to the ground, bringing the right leg forwards into plank, then hug the your right knee into your chest, let it land down to the ground. Use a block if you want before lowering yourself back to sleeping pigeon. And again, let's look at that engagement into the front leg, the back leg. So hips are more supported with the glutes. And we can find ourselves breathing nice and consistently in this pose. So one more breath here. And then slowly pushing through the hands, coming all the way upright. Can you engage even more into the legs and lift your hands away from the ground, really finding this lovely height. No worries if hands are still to the ground. Then let them come back. Drop the hips down to the right side, bringing left foot forwards, taking the soles of the feet together. So again, bring them in as close as you would like. This time we're going to go for a forward fold movement as well. So glutes are switching on, heels are driving against one another. We inhale here, and we exhale to slowly fold down. You can walk the hands further away, out in front of you if you like. As you fold, you can do this gentle sort of pulsing movement. A little bit of a random extra challenge if you fancy this. Maybe seeing if you can get your bum off the ground. You have to really press into the feet, bring the body weight forward. So you lift the bum off, the knees are off the ground, and maybe you take the hands away. Just one to play around with if you fancied. But we'll go one more breath here. And slowly coming all the way back up, lifting the knees together before up into our boat pose, whatever, like I said, that looks like. Being aware of the lower back, so making sure the core is lightly braced. Cool. So one more breath like this. And then into low boat. So release. Slowly start to straighten, slowly lower down to the ground, planting the feet. So we're going to come into our inversion. We can either do an L-based position where we're lying on our back and our feet lift up above our hips. We can do what we like with the feet when they're up there. We can roll the ankles, etc. Or we can bring ourselves up into our shoulder stand, And again, do whatever we like with the legs, or we can take the feet behind the head, come to plow pose, come to any other variation, whatever feels best. Again, in principle, they're very similar poses for the lower body. Legs are moving with gravity as opposed to being against it. The only major difference is the pressure in the neck and the shoulders. Okay, so go for one more breath wherever you are. And then when you're ready, slowly lower back down, hugging your knees to your chest, let yourself rock side to side. You're just going to interlace the hands, take them behind the head, slowly pull the head in towards the knees, so you just sort of move the spine in the opposite direction. And then gently, gently release the head back down to the ground. You're going to plant your feet to the floor. We're just going to start cooling the body down a little bit. So you can keep your hands by your side, or you can reach them above your head. And you're slowly just going to let your knees go to the right side, and then down to the left side. So windscreen wipers, nice gentle, nice controlled movement. Beautiful. Okay. As the knees come back through to center, you can either come to lying figure 4 or happy baby. So lying figure 4, you cross, say left ankle above right knee, then you hold the back of the right thigh and both feet will be off the ground. Same thing on the other leg. If we're in happy baby, we bend the knees towards our chest so we catch the feet, and we can rock or we can be still, whatever feels good. You can change the position of the legs as well. So if we're in lying figure 4, just swap the legs over so both sides get some go. If you're in happy baby, you can keep moving. Okay. And when you're ready, just come back to hugging your knees into your chest. Let the knees go down to either right or left side. Push yourself all the way up to a seated position. We're going to keep the feet planted. We're going to hold just under our kneecaps. Lean away, so chin to the chest, rib cage to the hips. And then pull ourselves forward, squeeze our shoulder blades together, lift the chest. And again, rolling away. And then bringing ourselves forward. So just go one more time each way. Leaning back, so kind of seated cat-cow. And squeezing forward. Come back to neutral, take your hands behind you. You're going to drop both your knees down to the right side, then lift the left hand off the floor so you can fold all the way down to the ground. Now we're going to stay here. As you fold, maybe you really stretch the hands out and you find yourself in a nice lying position. Breathing into the body. Slowly bring yourself all the way up and out, both hands behind, so we can switch the legs round to the left. Bring your right hand round, and again start to slowly bring yourself into this fold, into this twist. You can reach the arms away. Cool. And then slowly, slowly, all the way back up to your seated position, and we can close class together. So you can let your hands rest on your thighs, or take one to your heart, one to your belly, and just close your eyes for a moment, thanking yourself for moving, for getting in touch with your body today, for exploring different transitions and poses. And if you would like, you can take palms to your heart, thumbs up to your lips, then to your forehead, and back down to your heart space. Namaste. And when you're ready, rubbing your palms, building some heat. Hands come back to your eyes, and then release as you come back to your room. So thank you so much for practicing with me. I really hope you enjoyed this style of class. Like I said, it's influenced by Mandala yoga and Ashtanga yoga. So yeah, let me know if you would like more of these in the future or any other suggestions, and I will see you next time.